Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm basically going to be explaining my whole process on how I got my job with Benefit Cosmetics. I started working for the company about 6 months ago now. Me and my partner were moving to South Essex together, so I needed to look for a new job. I was working in a beauty salon at the time, but I wanted something a bit different because it's literally all that I'd been doing for like a year and a half, and I just didn't think it was really for me. So I wanted a bit more of a change, but I wanted something still that I can use my NVQ with, so obviously that didn't go to waste. I've always wanted to work for Benefit Cosmetics, but the stand where I used to live didn't have what they call the brow bar, so obviously I just didn't have enough experience to be getting a job as a makeup artist. So what I did was I was just looking online one day and I came across Benefit Cosmetics brow bar, and I was like, oh my god, they have a brow bar, all you need is a level 2 NVQ and I'm level 3 trained, so I was like, I'm gonna go for this. So as I clicked on the application, you have to fill out an online application and attach your CV to it. The online application is like 5 questions about your experience pretty much, what you do in this situation, how you've dealt with things like this and that, and a bit about the company as well, what's your favourite product, that kind of thing. It was quite easy, but it is something that you need to think about because your application needs to stand out in comparison to other people's. Another top tip that I would say is make your CV stand out, because I know there was I think they said there was about 42 other people that applied for this job in only in the place that I was going to, so only in the workplace that I was going, so the Debenhams, and I was up against like 42 people. So your CV really needs to stand out. One top tip that I would say is add a photo, because your appearance really matters when it comes in the beauty industry. At the end of the day, it's really important. And also I think if they have a photo, they can it just makes it a little bit more personal. They kind of feel like they can connect a little bit better with you. So I think that does really help. So after I filled out that application, I think it was about 2 days later, I got a phone call, and it was from the benefits recruitment, and they were like, oh, hello Emily, we've received your CV, we'd really like to have a phone interview with you. And I was like, oh great, really excited. I didn't really know the process at this point, so I thought a phone interview would be what determines the job. And I was like, oh okay, when do I need to be prepared for? And she was like, oh no, we're just going to do it now. And I was like, oh my god, in 2 days I hadn't even thought about it really. So I had no preparation or anything like that, so you can imagine I was so nervous. But the phone interview was so chilled out. She basically asked me questions like, what's my favourite makeup product from Benefit? Do I know any history behind Benefit? One question was, what makeup product would you say describes your personality the most? And I found this one a little bit difficult because I was like, how do I describe myself in a makeup product? But I think I said something like probably the They're Real eyeliner, because all I used to wear is flicked eyeliner, so I said that's probably going to be the thing that describes me the most. It's just thinking of answers on the spot, so it depends how well you deal with pressure really. But yeah, after that she actually tells you straight away whether or not you are through to the next stage or not. So she said, that's great, well done, you're through to the next stage, we'd like to invite you in store for an audition and an interview. I was like, oh my god, another interview? At this point I thought, oh my god, this is so much. I had no idea what else was to come. So I was like, oh, okay, awesome. At this point also I lived 2 hours away, so I had to try and get all the way over to Essex. I think it was about a week and a half, so obviously I ran into town and I got really smart clothes. I think I went in some black trousers, some pumps because I knew I'd be standing up all day, and a nice turtleneck. I went in all black, which is what you have to wear. After this stage I went to YouTube and I looked at Benefit auditions and all the videos, and just to try to get as much advice as possible. That absolutely petrified me, because some people have had traumatic experiences. Like one lady was saying how their interview process was against like 7 women, and people just kept getting like dropped off until it was just down to the one. That sounded petrifying, but that was for a BA position, whereas I was going for a BBX position, so my interview process was very different. So I turned up the day, and I was waiting for about 20 minutes till I was seen by a lovely guy called George, and he took me upstairs to the canteen, and we carried out the interview. The interview process is basically a sheet and with answers on, and you're scored out of 1 a really good answer, 5 a really bad answer. So out of this sheet you really want to get 1s, obviously all across the board. I think you have to get like 4 good answers to pass the interview. So anyway, he didn't really say anything after that. The questions were very sort of about job experience. They weren't much about benefit at all. They were very much, you know, have you ever been in a situation where you've had to manage a workplace, or how have you worked in a team before? What else was there? I think, you know, you get the gist. It was pretty much like that. So that is something you need to prepare for. You need to think of scenarios and then think of an answer, so that you're not there thinking about it, because then he's just going to think you've made the answer up, he or she. So think of the scenario. I made like a folder of preparation for this interview, so it really does pay off by revising for the interview and really thinking thoroughly about different sciences that different questions that he might ask, and how you can answer them. So after that, he was like, okay, do you want to come downstairs and we'll do a trade test? I was like, oh, easy. Like, my position I was going for was just basically brow waxing, brow tinting, which is what I do anyway my whole life. Not my whole life, like a year and a half. So we went downstairs onto the counter, and I was really nervous because obviously everyone who I would have been working with was there, so I wanted to make a really good first impression. But we went down there. He basically took me through the release form, and he made me basically lay everything out the way that it's meant to be laid out. He told me I needed to try and sell the It's Potent eye cream. I wish I knew this, because I would have revised loads about the It's Potent eye cream, because I would have literally just smashed out all of this information, and he would have been like, you know. So it's probably a good idea to learn about the It's Potent eye cream if you're going for a BBX position. So yeah, when we'd all prepared for it, he was like, right, okay, I want you to go out and traffic stop. I was like, traffic stop? What is that? Basically, I had to go around the whole store trying to get someone to come over and get their brows waxed for someone who was having an interview, which is difficult because they think you are not trained, they think you have no experience if you're going for a new job, all of this sort of stuff. So I was so nervous. I just had to go out there. I think about 7 people barred me off. I was like, no thank you, no thank you. And I was like, okay then. And then I went over to this lovely lady. She was pushing a pram, and I was like, oh, do you know what, I'll just give it a go. And she was like, oh yeah, I'd love to actually. I'd love to get my brows done. I was like, thank you. So I brought her over. Luckily she had perfect brows as well, so even before I'd started they looked amazing. So I brought her over. I basically had to go through the whole release form with her, talk through everything that I was doing, try to upgrade her. I upgraded her to a tint as well, which was really good. And then I had to try and sell this eye cream, but because I didn't know much about it, I did just blank that. And then she pretended like she was buying it at the end, which was really sweet of her. And then after that, one top tip: if you double dip your spatula, it's an instant fail. I know. There was a lady the other week who came for a job interview and double dipped, and he just told her to stop. Harsh. But yeah, definitely do not double dip. But yeah, so my top tips for the whole interview process would probably be a good CV, a good first impression, making sure you look smart and do your revision. do not double dip. That's like my 5 top tips for just getting through the interview stage. So it was about 2 weeks later, I'd come back to Lincolnshire where I used to live, and I hadn't heard anything for about 2 weeks, and I was out shopping with my nan, and they were like, right, we'd like to offer you the job. And I was like, yay, thank you, cannot wait. No, I was so happy. I couldn't believe that I got it. I was really, really happy, and now I'm literally so settled in. The girls are lovely. Yeah. So I really hope this helped some of you guys. I know they really helped me. They gave me, a good idea about what to prepare for, and that's what I sort of wanted to do for you guys, let you guys know my experience. And yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you can give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe, that would be amazing. Your support means a lot for me, obviously, as I'm trying to build my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video.